Well, hello out there. Today is Friday, day 12. Boy, time is sure passing, isn't it? And we're on part two, Who. And I wanted to remind you that in 90 days, not only are you going to have a screenplay that's finished, you're also going to have a story. You're going to have all the elements to a story. So you have a short story to go along with your screenplay. Isn't that nice? And that's because of the method that we're using to write. Because we're not just using the simple template, we're using actual writing. And that's probably because I didn't start off as a screenwriter. I started off as a short story and a novelist. So you get that experience and you end up with a short material for a short story as well as your screenplay. And once again, I want to thank all of you beginners because I know how tough it is to start something and keep at it. And I hope you're getting up every hour when you are writing and getting in that mirror and smiling and saying, I've got this. I've got this, because you're doing it over and over and over. And I know it doesn't take you but a couple of hours a day to do your writing. And I am so proud of you that you are getting in there and getting it done. So we're going to get right now into part two of Who. And this section, Who, we need you to come up with questions. We need you to come up with questions and answers about your characters. We need you to come out with that mystery that's beneath your character that only you know. We need you to create the question, and we need you to create the answers. So we need you to create 20 questions about your main character and 20 questions about your antagonist. And we need you to answer those 20 questions about your main character and about the rival, the protagonist, the antagonist. This is where your uniqueness comes through. So get ready, write 20 questions about your particular main character and answer those questions in as little or as long as it takes to answer them. And remember, you're doing the same thing with your antagonist that you're doing with your protagonist. And that, therefore, you won't have to worry about your antagonist being as strong as your protagonist. Okay, so I'm going to let you get to your writing. And this is the 12th day, so this is Friday. I'll see you on the 15th day, which will be Monday. And don't forget to subscribe. And do remember that you're going to be able to enter a contest this summer with your first 2 screenplays. Because what we're going to require is 2 screenplays from each of our subscribers each time they enter the contest. And we're only going to choose one. The other one, you can't show us again. You can't re-enter with it. It's to be kept in your portfolio for you to use and improve for another venue. We only want you. We're only going to be accepting half of your work for to purchase. The other half, we will make sure that you have for other venues. So this course is not just about us making money. It's about all of us making money. And you will never leave this course. You're going to do just like Picasso did. Picasso knew he was a great artist. He also knew he had to make a living as a painter. Therefore, he took 20% of his art and set it aside because he knew that once it would take several years, 5 or 10 years for him to become famous. Once that happened, he knew he would have plenty of that other work that he had done already that was going to make him very wealthy. So we're going to make sure that you are in that same position, that you have a wealth of your material to put aside for other venues, even as we purchase some of your work at a much less price as a starter artist. You will be able to take the other work and work on it over the years until you get it to the level where you are making thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And eventually, millions of dollars. Because we have, in the motion picture world, we have writers that make millions of dollars. And they started just like you're starting. They started at the very bottom and worked their way up. The only thing they didn't have that you have is someone looking out for you from the beginning. And you get that because this is a special class. Okay, now you are going to go and on this part 2, you're going to do those questions yourself because that's going to take you to a new level. It's easy to have an instructor giving you questions and answers. It takes you to a new level when you have to dig deep within yourself and come forth with new questions and answers to those questions. Okay. Some people say, what's the question to the era that we live in? Will AI take over the world? Some people answer that not with computers breaking down every couple of months at the banks. It's hard to believe that AI is going to take over the world when they can't get the computers straight in this world. Then some people say, what about all the jobs that are going to be lost to AI? And an answer that many people come up with without fear of AI taking over all the jobs? Human beings have been resourceful for millenniums. And I believe that they will continue to be resourceful and start in America, all the people, the millions and millions and millions of people that work in America work in small businesses. Not in the top corporations that make all the money. They work in the small businesses. That's where the multi-million people work in America. Therefore, the answer to what's going to happen to all the people is they're all going to start small businesses, just like they did before there was any industrialization or artificial intelligence. They all farmed, and they all fed themselves, and they bartered, and they fed the community around them. They are resourceful. The human people will continue to be resourceful. No, AI is not going to take over all the people. That's the story that we're going to write. So I'll see you on the 15th, next Monday, because time is flying and we're writing. And now we know the answers to the big questions of our era. And of course, if you have other answers, we'd love to hear them. And I'm going to ask you to please subscribe. And I'll see you on Monday. Thank you for joining us.